That was a good parry. Oh, you missed your throw. GG, man. Hey guys, how's it going? Firebox here. I want to go over my Swordmaster Beginner's Guide. This is going to focus primarily on using green gear in the casual game mode, so hopefully you can start earning some gold. With that said, let's go ahead and get started. Swordmaster has two different skills, Psionic Blades, which can summon up to 4 swords, which track enemies, dealing pretty high damage with a cooldown depending on how many swords you use. This is the hot topic skill that takes swords directly from your inventory to launch at enemies. The reason for this is that most people do not like the fact that swords are used directly from your inventory, because it ends up resulting in gameplay where most of your inventory is filled with swords, which a lot of people do not personally like. And in order to play this class well, you need at least half an inventory of swords, because if you run out of swords, you're unable to use your abilities, and it results in you just being a weaker version of, probably I would say, a rogue. You really do need to make sure you don't run out in fights. We also have Whirling Blade, which summons a sword around you, dealing damage over time for 8 seconds. This is pretty good because it stalls enemy attacks, causing charge attacks to lose a little bit of charge. It also becomes really good with some perks that we'll go over here in a second. For the stats, we're going to be going for 54 strength because you want your blades to restore life on hit. This is really good because one of your primary skills, Psionic Blade, which you're going to be using a lot in PvP, it's really useful to be able to heal mid-fight with these. For dexterity, for green gear, I'm going to recommend going for 35, which is going to increase your critical hit strike chance by 50% for 5 seconds after hitting an enemy. This is pretty good. Critical hit chance is great, dealing more damage. At 72, you unlock Crippling Strike, which slows enemies as well. If you do end up running this in higher gear, such as purples, feel free to try to grab this. It's going to make a really big difference in your fights. 36 stamina is the big one, unlocking Deflection, which means that when Whirling Blade is active, all damage taken is reduced by 50%, which is insane because it lasts for 8 seconds and makes you basically immortal to all damage. By far, probably one of the best perks in the entire game, maybe the best perk. You also have Flurry of Blades at will of 27, which is going to allow your 3 and 4 shot Psionic Blade cooldown to be reduced. I personally don't go for this because I prefer to go for stamina, dexterity, and strength, but you're welcome to try this if you like. Personally, in the video, I did not use the will stat at all. And for the gear, as you can see, I'm mostly going for greens here. I decided to not go for heirlooms because I don't know exactly how the matchmaking works in casual, but I wanted to try to not get gear diffed, and I did discover if you run with nothing but greens and or one blue weapon, because I did find a blue longsword midway through the game, and it seemed like it didn't change my matchmaking at all. It seems like you end up with pretty balanced matchmaking, resulting in pretty even fights. So if you have purple heirlooms, you might want to hold off on using them if you don't want to get ran over by high gear players in the casual mode. If you're in classic, you might as well just use any gear you can find, because I think for the most part, people are always going to be geared there. I used the longsword for most of my PvP. I did use the sword and shield a little bit, but primarily I did focus on longsword gameplay just because I think the longsword's pretty fun. Maybe not meta at the moment, but definitely a fun weapon to use. And I do want to touch up a little bit on the sword mechanic that I mentioned earlier. Because you need a lot of swords, Swordmaster is a PvP class, not a PvE class. If you are going into games looking to loot chests, mobs, and play the game like a normal person, you should not play Swordmaster. Swordmaster is the class that you want to play if you want to hunt for PvP, because all of your inventory should be mostly swords. You can go with less swords, maybe half an inventory, and try to just loot a little bit along the way. But I'm telling you, if you don't have swords for PvP, you're going to have a really hard time. So personally, I would recommend going for as much player combat as possible and just looting the absolutely important items while you're playing, purples, rings, and things of that nature. I'm hoping for a Swordmaster rework because I think the system with swords is not very good. Personally, I would like the swords to either stack and then make a limit so you can't spam them as much, or just add a cooldown like the other classes. And I think it's everything I wanted to talk about. Let's go ahead and get into more of the PvP. Let's go ahead and get started. If you do want to see more gameplay like this live, be sure to check out my Twitch. I'll leave it in the link in the description below. Hopefully I'll see you there. Yeah, Swordmaster is like one of the fast. Oh my god! Sir. I did not expect a guy to be sitting there. Honestly, low-geared PvP is probably more fun than life one hit PvP. It's not even close. I'm pretty sure that is probably more entertaining. It's actually a fight, you know? Every player I've seen so far with all green gear has been green gear or less. I was blocking! What? I was blocking. Okay. You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. I was trying to block his petrify. He ended up hitting me anyway. Where did he come from? Oops. That's not a happy cryo. Sorry, dude. I felt a little bad before I threw that final swing, but... Yeah, Q on Swordmaster's insane. It's like, no joke, can be upwards of half your health if you're a squishy class. It's nuts. And then your E is also insane. That was a good try. I didn't expect the whirlwind. He gave up. He gave up. That's so sad. That is so... Oh my god. He literally took his hands off the keyboard. That is... that is so tragic. Rogue gameplay? I already did rogue gameplay. Did it not too long ago. There's someone up there. It sounds like there is. Oh, it's so sad. You almost had the petrify, though. Almost. So close. Oh, there goes your petrify. No. Nope. Oh. You can go right there with your rogue brother. That's why speed's so important. I was able to get out of his thunder staffs pretty well. Yeah, if you get the first hit with your swords, they are just dead. There's not much they can do. The fight is basically won the moment you hit your first attack. You could misplay like crazy and still win because they have so little health. And then add onto it your 50% damage reduction. It's basically free. Might as well be free. It's close enough. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to like the video, helps the channel, subscribe for future content, and comment below what your thoughts are of Swordmaster. I do want to thank Trash Daddy and Pressure for supporting this video alongside all my other members. Thank you all. Have a great day.